Pedal to the Metal podcast with your hosts, The Eroica and Heil68. Strap one on, boys.
Hey, System Wars. We are here with another Pedal to the Metal podcast, our second podcast.
Pedal to the Metal.
We got the boys in the house here. We got Heil68, and you want to say hello?
Oh, hello, and it's Heil68. It's German.
Oh, I messed it up.
Just remember, praise 68.
And we are also here with the Animal Mother.
You know, somebody once called me an animal motherfucker.
Wow.
I know. I really rustled his jimmies.
And for all you guys that don't know out there and don't know where that name comes from, it's from Full Metal Jacket, which is an excellent movie that I can't recommend enough.
I can't recommend it more than enough. Some users get it. Some of the younger guys don't. But great movie. Animal Mother's great character too.
And that's a Stanley Kubrick movie, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I work in movies, and my mind has been on the movies.
The porn industry, for you guys that didn't know.
I know. I love working. I'm a fluffer. Heil, you were in my Xbox Live party last night. You heard what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
I was just fluffing some dudes while playing Dead Space 3.
All right, anyway.
Anyway, so we want to talk about games today. We want to get into games. What are you guys playing? What are we playing? What's coming up, what's around the corner, and maybe talk a little bit about things that have already come out.
I'm so ready. I have been playing Tomb Raider, Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance, and Crysis 3. And I beat Dead Space 3, but I'm going back for achievements and stuff.
Wow.
And I'm in school, and I work for a production company, and I work for my family business. Don't ask me. It's these Thursday nights.
And you do podcasts for Pedal.
And now I do podcasts. Well, I guess first off, I really want to talk about Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance. Neither of you have played it, right?
That's
just
correct.
the demo.
That is a game that anybody who likes hack and slash can play. That's it. No. It's, you know what it is? It's such a fast-paced, brutal action game. And some of the stuff, not in the campaign at the end of the day, because once you unlock the Fox Blade, or if you buy the Fox Blade on DLC in the Gray Fox outfit, and that stuff, the game becomes infinitely more easy because the Fox Blade cuts anything in half in one cut. So you're not relying on combos anymore, this or that. But your first playthrough on hard mode is it's brutal, and it's definitely a fun game. And it's definitely a testament to how, I don't want to say how patient you are, but how much you're willing to commit to get good at a game. Kind of like Dark Souls, because it has the VR missions to test your skills, and those missions are just brutal. They're just, I can't get S's on them because they're so brutal.
Now, answer me this, since you've probably played all these games. For the pinnacle of the hack and slash, let's compare that game to Devil May Cry 3 and Bayonetta. What comes out on top?
You know what it is? My heart is with Devil May Cry 3. It's just, Devil May Cry is a franchise that's near and dear to my heart. If I were to order them, it would be Devil May Cry 3, Bayonetta, and then Rising Revengeance, because, you know, Rising Revengeance had the development trouble at Kojima and at Konami, you know, so God knows how long it took them to build that game, but you can tell that it was kind of, I don't want to say it's a rush product, because it's a very well put together game for the amount of time it was put together, but you can tell that corners were cut to definitely get it out in time. It's still got a deep combat system, still really good, still really tough. You know, it's got the MGS wackiness, but Devil May Cry 3 is just on a whole different level.
You know what I'm interested in is what you mean by cut corners. Like, graphically, just that the game kind of didn't have a good continuity to the story. I don't expect much from story from those games, but, what do you mean by cut corners?
You can tell that they definitely, they didn't have a tutorial level. They don't have a combo list, so that's kind of tough.
Yeah.
You can tell that You know how you can usually just go into a menu and customize your character the way you want them
Yep.
with combos or whatever? You have to leave the game and then you restart at the next checkpoint, at the checkpoint you left off at.
Hmm.
And you can tell the game's short. It's only about 5 or 6 hours, depending on what.
Really?
Yeah, it depends on
Wow.
what difficulty you're playing on. But like I said, the VR missions definitely add a whole new layer of replayability.
What are those for the people that haven't played it and don't know?
The Metal Gear Solid series is very famous for its stealth stuff. I believe it was after Metal Gear Solid 1 released, Kojima was looking to make another game, so they had this game on the PS1 called Metal Gear Solid. Let me just check it up. My mechanical keyboard. Metal Gear Solid. It's called Integral and VR Missions. It was kind of a tie-in to the story where Solid Snake took VR missions, like virtual reality missions, to train. And I believe here, I'm reading on Wikipedia, Metal Gear Solid Integral is an expanded version of the original game based on the North American localization. And there's an extra disc of virtual reality training missions dubbed the VR disc. So it was a bunch of sneaking stuff and kind of like challenge rooms in whatever game, like Bayonetta or DMC.
Batman. Batman has some excellent challenges.
Batman challenge rooms, kind of stuff like that. So they added that, and you can't bring in your customized character with all the combos and stuff. It's just like a vanilla character, unupgraded and stuff like that, and you have to meet specific specifications in order to beat the missions. And there are 30 of them. They're putting 30 more on DLC. If anyone.
Paid DLC.
Paid DLC. Sony PSN gets them for free.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I believe it was a deal with Sony.
Thank you, Sony.
LOL.
But it's definitely a good hack and slash game. I suggest anybody who's interested in it check it out. It continues the MGS camp. I, for one, like the Metal Gear Solid story. I know, shoot me.
Really? Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I like camp. I like cheese.
That's probably pretty good for that game.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the Eroica. Maybe what game are you playing right now?
Well, you and I actually have been doing Halo 4 and going through that. But more recently, I got the Dirt 2 crack addiction off of that sale from last week, and I have been just raging through that game.
Yep.
Absolutely loving it. And I'm not much of a racing genre fan. I do pick up the Forzas when they come out. I have a couple of the Burnout games and things like that. But I don't know, something about it. I love the way the cars control. I love the physics in the game. It's a very, very smooth, easy to follow type of world tour. Really, really like it. But even more recently, as far as yesterday is concerned, and this is my favorite game franchise of this generation, but I downloaded my Mighty Mass Effect last DLC.
I have to get that.
Yeah, that came out yesterday, and I downloaded that, and I just started getting into it. I'm not going to give anything away, but from everything I've read from community members, not so much reviews. In fact, I haven't seen a single review on it yet. But everybody says it's the best DLC that BioWare's put out in support of Mass Effect yet. And it's kind of dialogue cheesy, but almost kind of in a fun way.
Better than Shadow Broker?
I actually read that comment yesterday from a few community members that they thought it was better than Shadow Broker.
That's a tough one to top.
It is.
How much is that? How much is it?
$1,200.
Well, that's not too bad. $15.
$15, yeah.
Or $15. Yeah.
They say any idea how many hours roughly it gives you?
You know what? I had not even looked in that far. In fact, I was not even up to speed on when it was releasing. I did a random check on Google the other day and saw it was coming out the next day, and I didn't even do any more looking into it. I just downloaded it. I'm a Mass Effect completionist. I have every Mass Effect achievement from the very beginning to the very end. So it didn't really matter what they put out. I was going to get it just for that fact alone.
Now, without spoiling the end of 3 for those who haven't played it,
yes.
How does this DLC, what characters and storyline, if you can say anything without spoiling it, what does it go upon?
What it's doing is it's picking up a chapter that takes place after the coup on the Citadel. But those people who have finished the game, obviously you should have finished it by now. It came out last year. That scene after the coup is pretty much where it picks up. And you cannot access it before then. The other odd thing about the download is that it comes in 2 parts. through Xbox Live. You've got to download Part 1 and Part 2. I do not know the length. I probably should look that up, but as far as the setting and stuff is concerned, it's not going to have, I did read that from BioWare, that it will not have any impact on the ending at all, but that it kind of ties in its own charming, unique kind of look at the Mass Effect universe from retrospective of all the players that you used to play with. So I guess they're kind of billing it as almost like reuniting with old cast members almost.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Fuck it, you can spoil it. It's a year old. If nobody's finished
Well,
it,
we're just
their
playing
fucking
Dirt
fault.
2 now. When did Dirt 2 come out?
Dirt 2 came out in like what, 08, 09?
So, I mean, it's in the realm of possibility. People haven't played Mass Effect 3 yet.
Yeah. I don't know. We could the whole ending of Mass Effect is a podcast and a half in itself.
Oh my god, I love
yeah.
that game. The game was great.
It really was. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it was the tip of the spear in the Mass Effect universe to this point. And I love Mass Effect 1. I love Saren as a character. I loved the whole story arc going on. I loved the choices and everything else. Mass Effect 2 was a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more shooter friendly and maybe not as deep in some areas as people. And this is all well documented stuff. But Mass Effect 3, I thought, was just a perfect hybrid of the two. I really, really enjoyed it. And you know what? In all honesty, I wrote a review for a website on that game, and I finished it the 2 days after it came out. I had done the whole 40-hour playthrough on it. I didn't have a problem with the ending. I really feel like people just...
Neither did I.
And they had to go after it, and I can see where it upset people, but to that extent was just not... It was not accurate. The juice was not worth the squeeze on the people who who bitched that much about that ending. But that's my own personal thought.
You know what the problem is? I hate to say this because, not fuck everybody in the community, but everyone's a fucking entitled, whiny gamer. And I can understand that people are paying $60 for games and that they should have some kind of levy with how they feel about things and what they can say. But these people put hundreds and hundreds and years of their lives into this, and we say it's not good enough. It's like, sometimes is it appropriate? Yes. All the time? No. I think the problem with Mass Effect 3 was, if you look at Mass Effect 3, you're right, the ending is great, but people don't look at the whole game as an ending to the series, because you tied up everything throughout the course of the game.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. I mean, the fact is that Mass Effect 3 was like the icing on top of this cake that you built, that you got to see everything that you did play out through the course of that 40-hour adventure. I mean,
yeah, and all the hooks came in too.
Absolutely. I mean, and there were some legitimately tender moments in that game. Dr. Morden Solis, I'm not going to give anything away, but that scene, I mean, that was so good. It was so well handled. I loved the fact that at those little tender moments that it's almost like BioWare knew the moments that I was going to really resonate. And they threw back to the old Mass Effect 1 music and kind of slowed the pace down and really told the story that was going on. And I don't know. I just didn't have a problem with Mass Effect 3 the way that some people did. I thought it was the game of the year last year. What do you think, Kyle?
I really liked it. I started it, and then I heard about the fiasco, so I kind of cheesed out, and I waited for them to finish it, quote unquote, finish it with the new ending. So I got to be able to play it with the new ending. So I really liked it. I thought the story was great. I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. I even thought the combat was great. I played as a soldier. I really liked it, so I don't see anything wrong. I didn't see the ending, what it was supposed to be like before they gave the extended ending. So from what they put out there, I thought was great.
Let's move on to something more recent. Tomb Raider.
I've only played like about 3 hours of it. I really liked it. I thought it was gonna be a little different than when I first started. I was pleasantly surprised. I was going off the E3. Was that 2011 when they showed the intro? I was going off that, and I thought it was going to be a lot more scripted than it actually is.
It's not that scripted.
But I don't care what people say. They were definitely influenced by Uncharted, from the climbing up the plane and having things come down at you. I see that they took some cues from Uncharted, which isn't a bad thing, which is good, actually. I think the platforming isn't quite as robust as in previous games. By robust, I mean complex or death-defying. I really have a hard time not making jumps. Even the ones, that seem impossible, I always make. So the fear of not making it isn't there where it has been in previous game. Again, that's not a bad thing. It's just that it's changed for the better or not. I'm not sure. Closest I've come is almost falling off the face of a cliff, and you having to press X to
Grab onto it.
To grab onto it. But the production value, I think, is through this roof. I think it's really good.
Do you think that it's fair to compare Tomb Raider? I mean, someone like me who has not played it yet.
Yes, I think it's absolutely fair.
It's fair to compare it to Uncharted?
Mm-hmm.
As in, do you think that it outdoes Uncharted in Uncharted's own game?
This is we're gonna hurt a lot of people. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Adobe artist. You know what it is? Uncharted 2 and 3 outdo the series. I was never a big fan of Tomb Raider, and I like the direction they took it, but you can obviously tell that Tomb Raider has been influenced by Uncharted now, and not the other way around. Mm-hmm. They're looking at it from the other side of the coin, and it's obvious that it's just so inspired by Uncharted now. Whereas originally, Uncharted was inspired by Tomb Raider. Now Tomb Raider is inspired by Uncharted. And one thing I like is the shooting kind of feels a little loose, the gunplay and the bow play. And I think that makes it nice because it kind of harkens back to have either of you played Silent Hill 1?
No, I have not. No.
Silent Hill 1 was kind of one of those games where you're an ordinary. I mean, the protagonist is Harry Mason, and he gets a gun and he has trouble shooting it, and it kind of harkens back to she's holding guns for the first time and she's kind of loose with them, and it kind of adds a little bit. You're like, oh, that's kind of neat that it's loose and that it's not as tight as you'd think. So you can tell that she's a little inexperienced.
So there's an actual gameplay aspect to her being a green adventurer.
Yeah, I think so, at least. Still tight, but it feels loose at the same time.
And I'm doing my best not to use guns as the way, unless I'm forced to. I'm going strictly with the bow. They give you so many arrows. I mean, I don't see you ever running out of arrows. I thought the game's good. I think it deserves 8.5. I think I'm looking forward to finishing it. I don't know how far you got, Animal, but
I did the radio. I got up to the radio tower.
So I hope that and the single tune that I did was really satisfying as far as getting to the treasure. The puzzle was pretty easy, but I'm looking forward to the more complex puzzles to get to the sweet loot. So I would highly recommend the game. So, and actually, I'm playing on PC right now, and I'm actually my friend's gonna, I think, let me borrow his GameFly disc when he's done with it, so I can play it on the 360 as well.
The Juggernaut Xbox 360.
The Juggernaut.
So I guess moving along, I've been itching all day. GameSpot released their review for God of War Ascension.
Yep. Here we go.
And here we go. Let's throw down. I mean,
I hated the demo.
I didn't play the demo. I will say that, and actually, Heil and I were chatting about this a little earlier today, and got a good laugh out of it. But I immediately called him out on a flop, and he said, "No, it was hype AA." To which I called the members of System Wars a bunch of Sandy who who were too scared to put their balls out there. But and then he told me Gears of War was actually hyped currently AA too. So I don't know, man. These are AAA franchises. They should be being hyped AAA. But
it's franchise fatigue, though. I mean, think about it. Well, God of War not so much, though. They've beaten it to death with the HD collection shit.
Yeah, and I want to hear your point, but I do want to point out that the reviewer said in the review, I read through the review, and he does mention that this is some franchise fatigue.
Which I don't get. I mean, I'll take the review. You got to take it like a man, so I'll take the 8 as a potential AAA series, which I still think it is. AAA to me means production values, and that game's AAA production all day, every day. So just because it scored an 8 or is going to sit at 80%, to me, it doesn't detract anything. I'm still going to get my CE edition next Tuesday and enjoy the hell out of it. Fatigue is just funny because it's the second console game of this generation. Yeah, We're not counting the HD collection or the handhelds. And There was
The
two. There was two during the 10 years of the PS2. So if 2 to 3 games is franchise fatigue, then the whole industry needs a current makeover. We've had how many Halos? 5 this generation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've had how
yeah.
many Final Fantasies?
I think what we're seeing right now at the end of this generation is franchise fatigue. I mean, aren't you guys, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but aren't you at this point more excited to see what new IP we get as days go by? Or
Yeah,
are
yeah,
you,
I
are you,
am getting tired of. Like, I've discussed this with other people. Though, I am getting fatigued. I mean, I think it's a personal threshold for different people because you
Sure,
always have those series that are near and dear to your heart. So,
sure.
like like the Resistance, I think after playing 3 that I was satisfied with 3, 1, 2, and 3, and I think I'm fine with not playing any more of those games.
I thought
Um,
Resistance 3 was really good.
Same with
I
Halo. I've just played so many of them that all of them that I even had really the itching to play multiplayer with Halo 4. And if you're not going to play multiplayer with Halo 4, I don't know. I just don't think you should get it. So I doubt if I would ever play another one.
I have a quick question. I'm sorry to interrupt. When they put the good and the bad, do the bad detract from the score, the overall score?
I'm not sure.
Because listen to this, some of the fucking bad some of these people, some of the reviewers give, and listen, they're good at their jobs. I understand it. I agree with the score. I wasn't on board with the game. But like putting bad as chilled out Kratos isn't as anywhere near as exciting as angry Kratos. Like that's just so stupid. Oh, and you know what? Can we stop with too? I see some posters saying that the next generation starts with the next PS3 or the next Xbox.
Ooh,
Shut the fuck up. The next generation started with the Wii U. If you have kids, they're the next generation. They're not still caught in your generation. So
hold,
stop being fucking stupid and just admit it. The next generation has started. It doesn't start with PS4. It doesn't start with Xbox. It started with the Wii U. And
I got breaking news, guys. Breaking news.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun,
SimCity
dun.
scored a 5.0.
It did. Holy crap,
Wow,
Kevin
that's not good.
flopped it.
Kevin, I think Kevin's. I
Broken
like
product.
I like Kevin a lot. I think he's unnecessarily harsh.
I meant to interrupt you there because I was breaking news. So
The guy's a fucking phenomenal reviewer.
Yeah, I think he's good, but I agree with you. There's some things that he nitpicks that I don't see eye to eye with, I guess.
You know what? I'm gonna go one step further, and people are gonna hate me for this. They're gonna say, "Animal Mother, how could you?" I really liked Resident Evil 6. I mean, I don't agree with 4.5. I mean, 5.5, 6.0, 4.5 isn't. I don't agree with that score.
Yeah.
But otherwise, great reviewer.
but anyway, we probably should get back to my damage control. Am I happy with in System Wars contacts with the 8.0? No. Of
I'm
course, I'd
sorry.
like to see all world-class PS3 games score AAA 9.0 Editor's Choice Award. But you can't have it all the ways. I'm still gonna enjoy the game. I've played so many games below 8, and had a lot of good time with them. So score is irrelevant to a certain point to me. So is that damage control? I don't know, possibly, but I still think I'm gonna have a lot of fun. And currently, I'm playing God of War 3 just to get into the mindset. So I'm about 3/4 of the way done with that in my second playthrough. So
If you have fun, that's what matters.
I previewed a lot of the comments that were being made after the review was posted, and a lot of people were, the normal quote unquote butt hurt, if you will, that that it didn't score up in the nines. But there was a lot of positive things written in that review too. I mean, they praised the single player campaign, which sounds fantastic to me. I mean, I'm not going to lie, 99% of the games I buy for the single player campaign. I'm not an online gamer that much. But they said that the combat was as tight as ever. And I think, in the context of the comment that I wish I remembered the reviewer's name. I don't have it up on my screen right now. But one of the things that he said was that the franchise fatigue may have be coming from I believe he alluded to the fact that there doesn't seem to be a lot added to the actual gameplay. It in essence feels like God of War 3
and
on a different adventure.
and really 8.0 is considered great. I mean, are we so jaded that we can only play games that are rated 9 to 10? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I know I
don't
am. I know I am, but no.
Well,
I'm
then
just
you shouldn't be
kidding.
playing Forza. The last games that scored below 9.0. So
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying. I mean, it's
Yeah.
true that everyone thinks and looks at an 8 or even a 7 When
Yeah.
did 7 become a horrible game? I don't
Right.
know.
And, Heil, do you got any final things to say before we get out of here?
Nope. What games are we looking forward to this? I'm looking forward to BioShock Infinite. Got the Songbird Ultimate Edition coming, and I'm gonna get the Lego Wii U Undercover. So I'm looking forward to those 2 games.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm looking at BioShock Infinite is I don't know how that's not on everybody's radar at this point. I mean, that game's it's going to be a monster.
Somebody will
Um,
find a way to complain about it.
Oh, absolutely, and there'll be a fight about the ending, and there'll be a fight about every single aspect
The
of the game.
choices didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean it'll be George Washington didn't look lifelike, but it's going to be a thrill ride, I think. And then other than that, I'm excited for the next Splinter Cell. I know that game doesn't get talked about. I feel like Splinter Cell Conviction kind of pushed a lot of people away from the franchise at the way that they took the direction. But this Blacklist game looks really, really good. I personally loved Splinter Cell Conviction, and I'm looking forward to Blacklist.
I'm with you on that. I thought Conviction was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand why it burned a lot of people, but I love it.
Sure. But you know what, though? And I don't want to take up too much more time, but weren't we ready for a little bit of a change in Sam Fisher after Double Agent? Double Agent, to me, felt very, very back to that franchise fatigue. It did. I was kind of tired of lurking through the shadows, waiting to knock a guy out, drag him into the shadows, rinse and repeat for 12 hours. I liked the way that they took Conviction. I enjoyed it so much. I played it through like 3 or 4 times.
What I think people are most angry about is they took away they made it more of a shooter. One guy takes on everybody with a gun as opposed to Sam Fisher sneaking in and be undetected and doing it stealth.
Right. They took it in a Jason Bourne type of direction, I guess.
And that's a good game, too, the Bourne Identity.
Yeah, that was a good game. So, all right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here from the Pedal to the Metal podcast.
Vroom, vroom.
Another podcast coming up soon.
Later.
Pedal to the metal.